Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Explore Mixed Media. Laurie Trumpet Williams here with you today, along with Maureen Corpino and Terry Jones. And today we're going to, I'm going to mute my video. Today we're going to go into layered mixed media. So last week we discovered putting down different mediums. We used watercolor and we used acrylic, and then we covered that up and pulled back to reveal like a story underneath. We're going to do something similar today, but we're going to start off with collaging. And so the first step, and today we're going to collage down some papers. I'm going to be using watercolor paper today to do my collage just for the purposes of the video. Yeah, I'm using a smaller piece so that it fits nicely on the camera. And then I'm going to be collaging some images that I printed out along with some that I've created. And then we're going to do a wash over that and then a color and a reveal. So we have a lot to do in just a short period of time. So I think we should get started. Do you ladies have anything to add before we start?
No, I
No.
am just playing.
Okay,
So
well,
sure,
I'm going to switch my camera.
I will do the same.
Yep. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. And it looks like you guys are ready to go too. Do you want to take a second to explain what you're working with and what you're working on?
Well, these are just kind of incidental pieces of neutrals, and then I am going to this is all of the scraps for me doing my show. And I'm
Hmm.
going to take some of those scraps and put them in and add a little more in the way of I was thinking we were going to do more on top of it. I did not realize it was the reveal is going to be the last layer. So,
Yeah, so the last layer is going to be a layer of acrylic, and then we're going to pull back, or we're actually on, or we'll only put down in the areas we want, just so that the underneath will peek through in certain areas. Um,
uh-huh.
So you should do what you want and what you had planned, Terry, because I'm sure it's all about layering is the main theme
Right.
here.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
um, I think that you should go ahead and do that for today. And
I
Corey?
will.
I have gel prints and a bunch of just scrap gel prints. And I also have some little bit of writing. Um, so I'm just gonna, and I kind of pick things that color coordinated. So I'm just going to put that down. I'm using Bristol paper because that's what I had at my fingertips. And yeah,
Okay,
just doing
great.
the same thing as everybody else.
And you ladies were smart enough to tape yours down.
Yeah.
I didn't do that, so I'll get some curling, but I'm used to that and I'm okay with it. All right, well, let's get started. So I pulled out some printouts that I have with some writing and some what I call like graffiti of actually I created these using magazines and um, I cut out words and stuff and put them together in a big collage. And then I took
Hmm.
pictures of that so that I could reuse it over and over in different sizes. So this printout will be available in this month's project as well as this one with the writing in case you want to use it. I also pulled out some tissue paper and I separated most of the this is a paper napkin. Most of it has and it already has some writing on it, which is great. It has it had four plies, and I separated out the plies so I have just the thin the ply here. And then ladies, when I pulled off the back tissue ply, I realized that would make a great, I think, would make a great piece for a gel print. So I pulled it aside
Oh,
to try and experiment with that.
um, I have an ant trying to become part of my
Part of your artwork.
artwork. Yes, a
Mhm.
And
big
if you're watching here this morning, give us a shout out and say hello, and let us know. And I'll check the chat here in a few minutes to see if we have anyone watching live.
Okay, and most of my, a lot of my collage, these are kind of going with little tiny prints that I'm thinking I'm going to use with my for my show coming up. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
using a lot, I'm repeating a lot of the same papers, but I'm also like you, I went in and got some tissue paper or napkins and some interesting different backgrounds. So I'm going to put some of that in too.
Okay.
So that my intention is not my usual color palette. It's
Okay.
more of a neutral earthy color palette to go with my
Mm-hmm.
collage show that's coming up July 3rd. If anybody wants to come to Murphy for the opening of my big collage show,
Oh, I wish.
I've done four.
Well, I tried.
I know you tried, Corrine. I've done four 24 by 36.
Wow.
I know they were very, very, very. So I'm starting my layering process here with some neutrals in the background. And then I'm going to use the papers I actually used in the collage. And then I'm going to, I don't know, we'll see what happens with the reveals and all of that. But it's just a process, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get some more. I do love the just layering and seeing what we get.
Yeah, I know. And that's why I like I'm putting down my heavier printed paper first because I
Mm-hmm.
know that I can layer the tissue over the top of it if I decide to.
Well, and I'm using some of the tissue for almost a background. I want most of this flower stuff to disappear. This is
Mm-hmm.
just these little, but I want to have some in the background. So that's where I'm doing the opposite of you, but that'll all
Right.
work out.
So, Terry, are you using a heavy gel medium to put yours down?
I am using just matte gel, not
Okay.
not liquid. I didn't want to do the liquid because I wanted to make sure that it was kind of going to be dry enough,
Right, right.
because I'm going to put layers over this first layer. This,
Got it.
I'm not just putting one layer on. So not quite there yet. I thought, I need more. Well, I guess I don't have. I had a big bird somewhere. Lost my big bird. There it is. Lost my big bird. No, not want him to. So in my mind, a lot of this stuff that I'm putting the natural elements are the things that are disappearing because that's
Mm-hmm.
kind of part of what my the whole show is about. The
Okay.
call it, so most of this is going to get covered up. Hopefully a little bit of the stuff can peek through. We'll see. Oh, there's half of a bee there.
Mine's taking on a little bit of a nautical theme here.
That's okay. I like
I
nautical.
like that. I like it too.
Yeah.
And I started adding a little color here. With this is one of the watercolor pieces we did last month
Uh-huh. That's
in the
very pretty.
watercolor section. Weave that in there. I love it. Because that also has to do kind of with the color scheme I'm going with for this, which is same as last week. I'm using the pinks, oranges, and yellow,
Yeah, I can see that.
and a
It's
little blue.
quite luscious. But I got to get a little more of this stuff down here so so I can I'm doing 4 of them like an idiot. Maybe I should just do 2.
No, this idiot's along with you over here. So,
And
Okay.
when I sent the instructions, I said, you may want to do a series.
Yes, I know. Well, I took you seriously. Haha.
mhm.
No.
Oh no. So I've got just some luscious color. I love
All right, so
I
I
don't
think
know
that's
where I
enough
can,
for layer one here for mine. I'm gonna just dry it a little bit. Or
got this, but this is just such a luscious piece. Do I have any maybe more birds sticking? Oh, I like that. This guy.
I love how each of you have like kind of your own like kind of color tone thing going on with that. You know what I mean? Like Terry, yours is this kind of and almost an antique looking,
Yeah,
inviting, and then Corrine, yours is energetic. And I love the peach and the blue and teal together. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I was feeling a little energy this morning.
this is good.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. Doesn't happen every day.
I've been
They're just
feeling a
looking
little,
great.
it
Just
is
like that.
looking
Looks
fabulous.
Well, what I was thinking was since we're putting paint over it and then pulling back to reveal, I wanted some color underneath
right.
to pull back to. Unlike my usual just earth tones that I
Well,
seem
Neil,
to
I'm
just be in
doing
love
earth
with these
tones.
days.
Yeah, I'm doing like earth tones. Now I'm going to put in some of the pieces that I had made and used the in my collages. So there's like
Hmm.
continuity. Got most of my background in, and now I'm putting some more collage pieces, just random sizes, not that I'm liking that. And I've got all of this great little pieces of paper. Where are they? That I can add in. Like this little piece. I want to put that little piece there. This one needs a little more life. Well, I don't want it there because I want it. Oh, here I am talking to myself.
I know. I'm thinking, I'm listening to you make all these major decisions. I'm just putting this stuff down. I'm like, it's going to be covered up. I'm not making any major decisions here.
Well, but I do want to keep the
Yeah, I know. You're trying to go with to have continuity with other
with
works.
something. Right.
I get it.
But whether or
These
not
are
it's,
just going to turn into cards. So
we'll see what these turn into.
if I like it when it's done.
I just like putting stuff, keep on going over and over and
Hmm.
just making some big shape stuff. Now I want.
All right, I have to get out my hair dryer and dry this.
And then I changed my mind on only just going with the tissue over that. I'm putting some of these words over the top again. So like I'm like almost like another layer.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, and that's what I'm putting another layer of a few things in here. We'll see how it works. Not sure even what they are.
And it's not warping on me today, which is interesting. Usually it does.
Uh, well, the Bristol paper does. So with
Yeah.
the
Mine's
liquid
warping a little
medium.
tiny bit, but it's not as crazy as, I'll put some of this back. It's not as crazy as normal.
So my when I collage, I don't know about this if this happens to you guys, but when I collage, a lot of times I lead off the paper like it's almost like coloring out of the lines, you know.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You see, yeah, I end up having to trim at the end.
Yeah.
Yes, I frequently have that issue that I have to.
Okay. So I'm gonna let mine dry here for a minute, and then I'm gonna do for mine. You guys keep going in the direction you're going, but I'm gonna dry mine some. I see Corinne's drying hers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not quite there to dry, but I'm getting there to dry.
And that's the trickiest part this month for the projects that we're doing, is the drying, right?
Yeah,
Because you're doing layers. If you're just doing acrylic, it's not a problem. But when you start adding up the mixed media, where you're mixing in other media, then it gets to be a little bit hard to keep it under a 30-minute time slot.
right. Well, and it ends up,
This month's challenge.
huh?
I said this month's challenge.
Yeah, it
Move
is.
fast.
Yeah, move fast, exactly. And that's a good
Move
one. Good
fast
lesson
and
for
don't
me.
break things, right?
Good lesson for me.
Yes, I watched when we weren't available, I watched yours and I said, she's moving so fast. I'm so proud of her. I was like, oh yeah, there she is. I want some of that red. No.
Mine looks like a patchwork quilt.
Well, it's very beautiful,
Thank you.
but I understand what you mean too. So I'm not sure if this idea is working 100% for me.
That's fair enough. So, do the next step.
I've got so in one of my paintings, I used,
Oh, that's interesting, Terry. Are you using that for a mask or are you laying that down?
I was
Oh,
laying it
oh,
down.
that's cool.
So I had cut out, so the positive in this is somewhere else.
Well,
So,
go
but
ahead.
I've got the positive is in the one of my paintings. These are just the negative. And
Cool.
I was thinking I was going to use negative on top to give me what I wanted, but I don't seem to have enough of them here to do what I want. Huh. Thought I had littler ones.
So
Got
while
all,
we're sitting here waiting for things to dry enough to move to the next step here, I just want to take a minute to invite everybody to join us at exploremixmedia.com. We have a patron membership. You can join for just $7 a month, and you get access to all of the past projects and months of resources, lots of additional resources and tools in there, free downloads, a lot of value in there. We're this is our 18th month. And
Wow.
yeah, I know, right? That has flown. But there's a lot there. I invite everyone to come to exploremixmedia.com and join us there. We have a paint along every month, so we get to know each other. So give us a visit, join if you can. We'd love to have you there. And you know, Terry and Corrine and myself, we put a lot of effort and time into it. We love sharing what we've learned and sharing our explorations along with you as well. So we'll see you over there. We also have a Facebook group too.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can join the Facebook group and join us there to see what kind of projects we have go on,
Mhm.
and yeah, and follow us here
Well,
on YouTube too.
yes, following on YouTube is very good too. That's
All right, I
very
think I'm dry now, so
well,
Okay.
cool. You
or
can,
dry enough, I should say. So my next,
well, yeah, as long as the stuff will spread, it'll be fine.
right.
I still have a couple spots that I need to decide to put something in, and I want some different values and colors in there, but oh, that's a really fun piece of paper. Let me put that right.
All right, so for so you guys can continue if you want, or
I'm going to follow you.
okay.
Yeah, I'm about to get to the point that I can follow you. I think the top one's fairly dry, so I'm just
All right.
gonna,
So my next step is I'm going to take some titanium white. Um, you should probably just use what you have. This is the opaque, and the reason I say this is opaque, normally titanium white is opaque. You
Mhm.
can tell by looking at the little gauge right here. I use in the Liquitex Basics, and usually there's like a little square on there that tells you. I'm not finding it on this particular one, but titanium white is opaque, but sometimes you can buy it. Like I got the Artist Loft brand, and it's
yeah,
not.
it's not
It's
opaque.
it's
Yeah.
not opaque. So you need to look at the brand you're using. Here we go. So I have a Winsor and Newton one here, and you can see right there that it's opaque. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with what I know is opaque. So
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
and I think that the problem is the lesser expensive the
right, the quality. Yeah.
qual
Thinner. Mhm.
right, the
It's
thinner
probably
it
the
is.
density of the actual base that's
Pigment,
in it.
right. It's the pigment load.
Exactly. So for mine, you could either put some titanium white off to the side and brush it on if you want, and then scrape back. What I'm going to do is actually put some directly onto my piece here, and then I'm going to use an old credit card to just spread it around in different places. Now I'm strategically leaving some areas as is. And then you can scrape back too, right? So if you put too much
Mhm.
down in one area that you don't like, you can scrape back and leave areas that you want to leave revealed. Another thing that you can do is you can take a paper towel and lift up in certain areas. Sometimes you might have to make it white and wet in order to lift if you're in an area where it dries pretty fast. Careful, don't overwork it if you do that though. But like see here, I wet the tip of mine and I'm brushing back some area here that I want to keep revealed.
So you've got some areas that it's quite heavy.
Yes. And in this case, what I really want to do is like it's almost like I have a white painting, like and and
Uh-huh.
and only certain areas are showing through
Got it.
to give you curiosity of what could be underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I lift back some areas and I can come back in and kind of smooth it out if I want with a brush. And I've seen this done in a couple of ways, and it can look really, really cool. And a lot of times they'll even layer on top of this, right? They'll put a wash over it and then come back with another layer of the white. Or sometimes you can start off with just doing a tiny little bit, let that dry, wash, then come over another layer, and it just depends on how many layers you feel like building up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what and push back. And then, another option with this is you could come over the top of this and create something completely different. And like a vase or a flower arrangement or something like that on top of it.
Yeah. I've
That
done that before. Yeah.
Yeah, and that gives it a lot of interest because you're pushing all of this back, but it's still there. So you've got layers and a story that you're telling as you build things up.
Mm-hmm.
And I purposely, when I was adding my white on here, I purposely had some areas that were like you said, Corinne, completely opaque,
Mm-hmm.
and some that weren't. And so I wiped a lot of it back, and now I'm going to go back in and add more. This time I'm putting a little bit of the paint directly on my card. You can put almost like marks. So I don't know if you see what I did there, but I put a little bit of white on the card and went up and down. And that made some interesting marks. You see how
Mm-hmm.
that
Do
works?
you hear my do you
I
hear
can hear
my
you.
We hear you, but we
sneeze
don't hear
about my dryer?
your dryer. I think that's amazing that the technology can do that.
Yeah, I know.
I love it. They did that
I mean,
especially for us artists, right?
They know we don't want the dryer.
I think I might want to try another one of these where I just do this technique that I just did. I really like it. Where you just kind of scrape it down and drag it like
mm-hmm.
sideways. You scrape down and then drag across just a little bit, not a lot. So if you look right in here, you can see what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I think that would be kind of cool to do. As we explore different techniques.
Well, in mine, because of the fact that I've used so many neutral colors, I'm going to use titanium buff instead of the bright.
Well, I'm curious to see what you do with it.
Unbleached titanium.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the unbleached titanium would look really nice with
Yeah, I have
what you're
either
doing.
unbleached titanium or parchment.
Right.
Parchment's slightly greener. The unbleached titanium, I also have this titanium buff,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe I'll go with parchment.
And then Corinne is doing this graffito, right? Is that
Yes, I love this
Yes.
graffito.
I'm just kind of, I've
I
got
love that
some
too.
areas that have a lot of dark underneath.
Right.
I'm trying to pull that through.
Yeah, that scraping is actually really so we can go in the deeper areas and do that. You can use your palette knife to do a lot of this too. I should have mentioned
Yeah,
that.
I've got a palette knife out that I'm going to play with, but let's try. Hmm.
Scratch in.
The problem with this unbleached titanium is it's the blick, and I do not think the blick is opaque. Remember when I said,
opaque enough.
yeah, I don't think the blick is opaque enough. And my unbleached titanium is probably in my car because I put everything out. No. Let me look one more place.
Yeah, and so I think for
Ah.
these, in my opinion, is we covered up and revealed quite a few things, but I think this piece in my case would benefit a lot more for letting it dry and then coming back in and creating something on top of it that's more like representational, or maybe a even collage on top with create a floral arrangement or something else interesting on top.
Yeah, and I think that's the same thing I will probably end up doing with mine.
Mhm.
Because what I mean, I love parts of it, and so I can come, as I'm toning down parts of this with this.
And I like that scraping tool you're using there, Terry.
Yeah, this is the Meister Master.
Messermeister.
It is a Meister, yeah.
Messermeister.
Messermeister, thank you.
You're welcome.
But it Messermeister.
Terry,
I'll
But
try one.
I love the
uh,
bleached titanium that you're using there, or
yeah, I
unbleached
think
titanium.
it's
I'm
I
gonna
think
try that.
yeah, I think it's much better. And then I'm also going to try
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
like
there
that.
you go, Corinne. Yeah.
I like the unbleached titanium.
yeah, I really like the unbleached titanium. And I'm
And
going to put some pattern in it in places
oh, there you go. I love
and see
it.
how that works. And I'm going to see about if I can. So I'm
Put
feeling
some
like I
marks in there.
miss cold wax and oil here, but
Oh,
that's because that's what I do a lot in cold wax and oil. But I think this is really interesting, and then I can come back and do more. And I'm going to summon this one here. So I'm probably going to be more conscious of it.
right. I think
And
a gray could look good too there. Even
yes,
with with
that green,
yeah,
yeah,
for your colors. Yeah.
that gray that I have, that's even a little bit of the purple gray could
I
look
was
good.
thinking maybe even a Payne's gray mixed with some white, like to lighten it up. That could
Well,
be.
and I've got this wonderful, I'm trying to think of, here it is. I've got this green gray, which might end up in places looking good, of just kind of coming in and mixing. See how that just kind of mixes over? I like
Mm,
that. Look at that.
that's
Just
pretty.
a
And then I
little
want to
bit of mix over and a little bit of just dragging through. And but I'm definitely would put more collage, something on top of it to
Yeah,
be
me too.
me, me, be a subject. But I'm liking, see, I like this. I've somehow managed to keep the image, kind of the image of the bird, okay, in there.
hmm
So I'm thinking that that's going to have some tree elements, be they collage again or whatever. And this one, I'm not sure what it is, but I think you're right. The combination of the darker and the lighter really
Uh-huh.
works pretty well.
It just complements really nicely, I
Yeah,
think.
it really does. And it looks very earthy. And
Hmm.
it also will mix together and give me a third color. You see that third and then I can just kind of drag it through in places. I'm having fun. Are you having
Oh,
fun?
and Corrine, what you just did there. I love it.
Ah, fun.
Well, it
Here's,
had white on it, and I'm just dragging a little blue across. You can still see
Oh, I
my
love it.
stuff underneath.
Yes, that looks so cool. What
I'm
color
not
yeah,
sure
blue are
where
you
it's.
using there?
Yeah, I'm
Let me
not
turn
sure.
this around so you can see it.
Yeah, what color is
Uh, Cerulean.
it? Okay.
Cerulean, yes.
But the white was already wet on there.
Yeah, right. So you just blended it on there. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pulling out some. I'm trying to find the
I
right,
may end up with
this right tool.
I always end up with a landscape.
Oh, look at that, Terry. See what you just look at to see what
Yeah.
you're seeing and go with it.
Right, that's kind of where I'm going. Like this is a big tree of something and I'm not sure what it is, but I'm just going to go with it. So I think this is very
This is
fun.
fun.
I will
Yeah, this is
finish
fun.
these and they will be part of a show.
Mhm.
But I really like, thank you for giving me the idea of the gray, Laurie, because I really do like
I
the
do like
gray.
it.
I do like the gray kind of
It
mixed
was a
in.
good exploration. So
It was,
I think we're gonna do a similar one like this next week. We're gonna do some layers on the gel plate and pull it
uh-huh,
and build up
Okay.
that way. And then the last week of the month, I think we're gonna take our pieces and build something on top of them. So bring all your backgrounds that you don't end up using for something
uh-huh.
else,
Okay.
and then we'll build something on top of that in the last week. I have a few ideas.
Okay,
Okay.
very
I'm gonna let
cool.
these dry and build on top of them, but this is a good base to keep going.
And I
Yeah,
just
and
love
that's
how
the
both of
same
yours turned out.
thing.
It's great.
I think that's the same thing with mine. I'm going to let them dry and then I will think more about it. Probably take it into the gallery tomorrow and while I'm working in the gallery and finish them off and finger paint
Very
because
nice.
I have stuff I can finger paint with.
Finger paint.
Fun. So
Yeah,
anyway,
lots of fun.
thank
All
you,
right.
Lori. This was so much
Thank
fun.
you.
Yeah. Thank
And
you, ladies, and we'll see you next Friday.
we'll see you next Friday. Okay.
Okay.